Hey everyone, this is Miss Asmo with a review of converting a fraction to a percent. Let's take a look at our easiest case scenarios. Some prior knowledge that you need to know is that a percent is simply a ratio comparing part to whole, where our whole is out of 100. And being in school, it's pretty easy to think of percents because that's how most of our grades are run. A percent is a comparison out of 100. So let's take a look at this example 3/20ths, and let's say I want to convert this fraction 3/20ths to a percent. We're going to create an equivalent fraction out of 100 since a percent is out of 100. So looking at this, if I want to create an equivalent fraction and find this missing piece, we need to multiply 20 by some whole number to get 100. And you know that 20 times 5 gives me 100. So let's do that to our numerator as well. 3 times 5, and we get 15 out of 100. So 15 out of 100, that's a comparison, part to whole. And so a percent is also out of 100, so we would get 15%. Go ahead and try these examples on your own. Notice here that all of my denominators have a direct relationship with 100. So create equivalent fractions out of 100. Go ahead and pause this video, try these on your own, and then you can play the video again and I'll show you the answers. Okay, hopefully you tried these on your own, and as you create equivalent fractions, these should have been what your final answer should have been. Okay, let's move on to a harder case scenario. Not always are we going to have nice equivalent fractions comparing our denominator to 100. So for instance, I can't multiply 15 by a whole number to get 100. So what we need to do here is we need to convert a fraction to a decimal and then convert our decimal to a percent, which takes a little bit longer, but not that much longer. So to go from a fraction to a decimal, let's convert this to a decimal. What this is saying is 14 divided by 15. So 14 divided by 15, and we need to do some long division. How many times does 15 go into 14? Well, it doesn't. And that makes sense because 14/15 is less than 1. So what we need to do is add our decimal, bring it up into the quotient and a 0. And how many times does 15 go into 140? Using your problem-solving skills, 15 almost goes into 14, which means when I go one place value further, my answer should be a larger single digit, so a 9 or an 8 or a 7. Okay, let's try 9. 9 times 15 gives me 135, and when we subtract, we get a remainder of 5. Okay, let's bring down another 0. How many times does 15 go into 50? Well, 15, 30, 45, that's close to 50. And then my next multiple is 60, so that's too big. So 3 times, because 3 times 15 gives me 45. And when I subtract, I get a remainder of 5. Okay. Bring down a 0. And if you notice, I'm asking myself how many times does 15 go into 50? Well, I've already done that step. So it goes in 3 times, and we're going to get the same result here. So our 3 is going to repeat. So if I'm going to round to the nearest hundredth, and that's what I want you guys to do. I don't want you to go past the thousands place. That's wasting some time. So my 3 here is going to remain a 3 because in my thousands place, this thousands place is smaller than 5. So if I'm going to convert 14/15 into a percent, we need a decimal. So we know that that's equal to 0.93. And now we need to convert it to a percent. So we know that we can just move the decimal place over twice. So 14/15 is 93%. Okay. If we had a quiz and we had 15 questions and you answered 14 correctly out of those 15, that would earn you a 93%. Okay. Let's take a look at 50/60ths. I want you to be a good problem solver here. We can simplify 15/60ths into 5/6. So definitely do that first. Okay. Let's convert this. We know that if we divide by 10, we get 5/6. Okay. There's still no direct relationship between 6 and 100. So we need to do some long division. 5 divided by 6. And as we divide through, 6 does not go into 5. 6 goes into 50. 6 times, because that's 36. And when we subtract, we get a remainder of 14. All right, let's clean this up a little bit here. We found out that this was 93%. And the idea here was to simplify 50/60ths to 5/6. And as we divide through here, 6 goes into 50 8 times, not 6. I don't know what I was thinking. So we have 48, subtract remainder of 2, bring down a 0. 6 goes into 20 3 times, because that gives me 18. And when I subtract, I have a remainder of 2. And I bring down one last 0. And if you notice, I have 20 and 20 in another match. So we're going to have a repeating decimal here. So let's round to the nearest hundredth. And this thousands place, my digit 3, is less than 5. So that means that this 3 in my hundreds place is going to remain the same. 50/60ths is 83%. Okay. Go ahead, pause your video, and try these on your own. They're all going to be long division with some not so nice numbers. Okay, so use the technique of rounding to the nearest hundredth. Go ahead and pause your video, and I'll give you the answers. Okay. Here are some answers for you. Here I have rounded to the nearest hundredth, and then here I have not. So if your answer is close to these, then I will definitely accept it. If you look 10/12ths, if we reduce it, we get 5/6. So this is the exact same example. Let's apply this to real life. If I have 50/60ths, let's say Dylan was taking some free throw basketball shots, and she attempted 60 times and made 50 shots. That means she made a basket 83% of the time. Okay? So that's how we can compare that to real life. Alrighty, I hope this helped, and we will see you next time.